Hey guys, welcome in. So with it appearing like USC has wrapped up their 2023 transfer class, I thought today we could rank the top 5 most impactful transfers that have made their way to USC this offseason. There's a lot to choose from here, so if my list differs from yours, make sure to let me know your list down in the comments. But before we get into things, I do want to shout out Superfire, who left a comment saying, I think you should consider putting 247 stats on a player when you talk about them, just an idea. So I love that idea, and it inspired me to create graphics for every player we talk about in today's video, as well as in future videos. And I don't say this enough, but if you guys have any constructive criticism or ideas for how the channel could improve, leave them down below. You guys have a voice here, and you're a part of this channel. But having said all of that, please like the video and subscribe if you're new here, and let's get into it. Okay, so breaking this list down to 5 seems easy until you look at the actual transfer list. I mean, it's very hard to break this down to just 5, but I did my best. So let's start here at number 5. So coming in at number 5, I have former Arizona Wildcat and Murrieta, California native Keon Bars. As we all know, the interior of the defensive line last year was just atrocious. Keon brings consistent Power 5 production to a Trojan front line that desperately needs it. Keon isn't going to be Sean Cody, but he's going to hold it down in the middle, and that in itself will help take pressure off of everyone else. I expect Keon to play a ton of snaps, more than an average interior defensive lineman for sure, because that talent drop-off behind him looks to be huge. So next up at number 4, I have former South Carolina Gamecock Marshawn Lloyd. While the SC running game was very good and even dominant at times last year, they were missing that guy that could break off a huge play at any time from any point on the field. Marshawn brings that home run threat to the Trojan backfield, and I think he's going to hit multiple bombs this year. I of course have predicted him to be an All-American, so it only makes sense that he makes an appearance on this list. I still see a ton of Trojan fans sleeping on Marshawn, and guys, trust me, that's not a mistake you want to make. Coming in at number 3, I have former Oklahoma State Cowboy Mason Cobb. Mason brings a ton of experience to the SC linebacker room. He does a lot of stuff well. While there are some concerns with his missed tackle rate, and I do acknowledge those concerns, but he still made nearly 100 tackles last year. This guy makes plays on the ball, he's good in coverage, he's a very smart player. I think he'll be a captain this year as well. He really needs to play well if this Trojan defense wants to take that next step and be a national championship contending team. He definitely has the potential to be that player at SC. Will he be that player is the question really, but his impact will be massive this upcoming season nonetheless. So at number 2, I do have former Texas A&M Aggie Anthony Lucas. Lucas is just a player that has immense talent. I mean, if this guy takes that step and puts things together, USC will have an absolute star on their hands. I'm talking All-American first-round pick potential here. He's a former 5-star. He played a good amount for A&M last year in their first 6 games. He had a real good game against Alabama, racking up some tackles and pressures. So he's still a young player, but one that should have a massive impact this year. All the word out of Trojan camp is that he's going to start at defensive end. He really stood out in that spring game. The excitement around Anthony is only building, and for good reason. The kid's a stud. And taking the number 1 spot here, I mean, it's no shocker, it's former Georgia Bulldog Bear Alexander. Bear is just what the doctor ordered for this USC defensive line. USC and the Pac-12 as a whole really do not have players like Bear Alexander. They just don't. These body types mixed with these athletic profiles just don't exist on the West Coast. So adding a player like Bear is a grand slam. It is what the line needed in the worst way possible, and in terms of impact, if Bear Alexander is that dominant player inside, the ceiling for the SC defense will shoot through the roof. He and Keon's partnership inside will be huge. Think about how many times we got blasted up the middle last year. You remember the Cal game, the first drive especially? I mean, our interior guys just got blasted back and Cal scored very easily. With a guy like Bear in the middle, stuff like that should happen a lot less. I mean, one would hope anyway. But yeah, that's my top 5. It was impossibly hard deciding who to leave off here. Jamil Muhammad is going to play a huge role, as are Emmanuel Pregnon, Jarrett Kingston, and Michael Tarquin. I mean, not to mention Dorian Singer. Do you see what I mean though? I mean, it's impossible. But yeah, please do let me know your top 5 list in the comment section. I am curious to hear your guys' thoughts on this. But that will do it for me today, guys. If you did enjoy the video, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you want to help support the channel in an even bigger way, you can do so over at my Patreon for only $1 a month. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. You're all awesome, and as always, take care and fight on.